Hey everyone, it's Jade, aka Janati. In this video, I'm going to be showing you how to make a crochet ruffle wild Oleander hooded scarf. If you follow this pattern step by step and post it, please add me or tag me so other crocheters can come across this video and whip up a new project. If you are already familiar on how to do a shawl or bandana pattern, you can skip to this timestamp. I know how people feel about chain up four, but watch how I do this chain up four slash magic ring. You'll be really impressed. So for this particular project, you have to chain four because the three chains is considered one double crochet. So you will go into the very first chain, which will be your quote unquote magic ring, and you will do your double crochets. So you will add two more double crochets in this hole, and then you would chain up two. Inside your magic ring or chain up four, you will add three more double crochets. Okay, so for the tail, you just pull it tight like you normally do. Now you will chain three, then turn your work. To expand the body of this project, you have to make increases at each corner and the peak. So the very first stitch that we normally skip, we have to go right into that stitch and add a double crochet. Then you have to put a double crochet in each stitch. Once you complete the chain up three and the three double crochets, you should have a total of 4 double crochets. Now we are approaching the chain up two, and you will add 3 double crochets in the chain up two space, then chain up two, and then go right back into that chain up two space and add 3 more double crochets. So at this point, you should have 10 double crochets total, and now you need to add 4 more double crochets on the other side. Also, the double crochets inside the chain up two space tend to cover up the first stitch. So always trying to move those over to avoid decreasing because your work will start to turn. Okay, so we're going to increase, and in this increase part, we're going to add 2 double crochets inside the chain up 3 we did earlier. Now, how I do it, I add 1 double crochet on top of the chain 3, and I add 1 more double crochet in the middle of that. So your work should be looking like this, and you should have a total of 14 double crochets and a chain up two space, which is a total of 16 stitches. So we're going to repeat this one more round to get a total of 3. Okay, so by this point you should have a total of 22 double crochets and a chain up two space. With my pattern, I do 3 rows before I start doing my texture rows because I like my texture rows to face the right way, not the wrong way. Okay, so if you're not interested in wanting to know how I do my texture stitches, you can just continue doing double crochets for 20 rounds and a half double crochet to clamp your edges. So now we're going to start with the mesh stitch pattern. We're going to start with the chain up 4, skip that very first stitch that we've been going into to increase, and then we're going to add a double crochet and then chain up 1, skip, double crochet, chain up 1, skip, and we're going to do that all the way until we get to the peak. With this pattern, you have to make sure that your chain up 1 is before the chain up 2 space. Do not add a double crochet in the stitch before the chain up 2 space. It has to be a chain up 1, and then your next double crochet should be inside the chain up 2 space. And then you will add 2 more double crochets inside the chain up 2 space, chain up 2, and then add 3 double crochets inside the chain up 2 space. And after you add your 3 double crochets, you would chain up 1 to skip that stitch to keep that same pattern going like we did on the other side. Okay, so now we're approaching the chain of 3, and with the mesh pattern, we're going to continue doing the same thing. We're going to chain up 1, which is going to consider that top of the chain 3 space, and then we're going to add the double crochet in the middle. So it's still the same technique. The only thing different is we're just chaining up as if it's a double crochet, and we want to skip and go into the second one to add that increase. So the 5th row is going to be double crochet, before I start my next textured stitch. So as usual, I'll put a double crochet in the very first stitch, and then I will go in between the mesh hole and add a double crochet. So I'll go into the stitch and then the hole, stitch in the hole, stitch in the hole. Okay, so this is how your fifth row should look like. Okay, sorry for the black. I did switch my color. So now we're going to be doing the popcorn stitch. So I'm going to be doing a chain of 3, and I'm going to go in the very first stitch like we've been doing, and I'm going to add 5 double crochets in that same hole. I'm not even going to try to explain this, just watch me because I don't know how to articulate this, but just know, do not slip stitch in the chain up 3 we just did. Only slip stitch in the 5 double crochets that we created. Sometimes some people do a chain up when they seal their popcorn stitch. You can do that. However, it can be confusing and it can cause increases in your work. So I just slip stitch and then move on. With my pattern, I do popcorn, 2 double crochets, popcorn, 2 double crochets, popcorn, 2 double crochets. Always make sure you count your stitches when doing the popcorn. Make sure it's 5 double crochets so you're not accidentally slip stitching into 2 double crochets. So you should have 2 double crochets before entering the chain up 2 space, which you will add the 3 double crochets, chain up 2, 3 double crochets. And like I said, whatever you do on one side, you got to do on the other side. So you add 2 double crochets after you complete your cluster, and then add the popcorn stitch, and you will continue. So 2 popcorn, 2 popcorn, 2. So once you add your last popcorn stitch, you add your increases. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So for this round, you're gonna be doing a double crochet, chain up 3, go in the very first stitch like we've been doing, and then you just add a double crochet in each stitch all the way around. Inside the bubble stitch, you will see a stitch right inside the bubble. So if you want to just do just the mesh and the bubble, you can keep going for 20 rounds, and then for the 21st round, half double crochet to clean up your edges. If you want to do this texture pattern or stitch, it's optional. It's the X stitch. You can't really see it. It's not that noticeable. And basically you just skip a stitch, add a double crochet, and the stitch that you skip, you go back into it and add a double crochet. So you're literally doing like an X. Okay, so now we're approaching the hood, and we're going to fold and connect both corners, and you have to make sure that the body is facing outward and the closed part is facing towards you. So we're going to place our hook on top of the chain of 3 or the top stitch, and we'll take our loop and slip stitch it through. Next, we're going to chain up 2 and double crochet in the same space. To build our hood, we have to add increases. So for the small holes, we'll be adding 1 double crochet, and for the big holes, we're adding 2 double crochets. So as I'm showing you, the bigger holes will be 2, and see that small hole, that will be 1 double crochet. So as you can see, that is 2 double crochets. Now that small hole is not part of the stitch. You do not put 1 double crochet in there. You don't put no stitches in there at all. So I'm going to show you the difference between the two. So you see that 1 stitch compared to that stitch. That one you do not add no stitch in, but that one you add the 1. Okay, so now we're approaching the magic ring chain of 4 space, and I put 2 double crochets. You can just add 1 if you want. Also, we're going to be tucking that tail in. So now we're going to slip stitch in the chain up 2 space. Alright, so for the next 14 more rows, you can turn your work or you can keep going in and around. So I'm running out of time because I only get 10 minutes. I'm just going to add the pattern for the ruffles and along with the drawstring chain amount and pattern.